Nehoma, and welcome back. Now let's dive into medieval China. In this first video of our Chinese trilogy, we're going to cover early medieval China. But first, let's take a step back. Now in 6th grade, in your ancient civilizations class, you should have learned about the early Chinese dynasties. And you should have also learned that Chinese history is divided into dynasties. And a dynasty is simply a family of powerful leaders, each getting its name from the place it started. Roughly 4,000 years ago, there was the Shang Dynasty. But because there is no surviving written language, it is based purely on legend. Then, emerging in the Yellow River Valley, came the Shang Dynasty, which lasted from 1600 BC to 1046 BC. They're the ones that used oracle bone script, but they were overthrown and replaced by the Shou Dynasty, which was the zenith of the Chinese Bronze Age. It was succeeded by the Qin Dynasty in 221 BC, known for being the first imperial state and developing a currency. But it was short-lived, because China fell into rebellion after the death of the Qin ruler, and out of the ashes rose the Han Dynasty. It lasts from 206 BC to 220 AD, coinciding with the Roman Empire in the West. They brought iron, invented the rudder for ships, called junks, and invented paper. But after warlords brought down the Han Dynasty, China entered a period of 361 years of chaos where there was no centralized rule. Then in the 6th century, a general in a northern kingdom killed the heir to the throne of his kingdom and all 59 royal princes to ensure that this general would be the next heir to the throne. His name was Wendy, and using his ruthless cunning, he reunified China and planted the Sui Dynasty. What's ironic is Wendy established the civil service exam. It was basically an exam you had to take to get a government job, and it tested you on your morals. So think about this. Wendy, a man who murdered all his political rivals, was so concerned about the morals of his government employees. It's pretty funny. Wendy also launched large public works projects, for instance, repairing sections of the aging Great Wall. And Wendy connected northern China to southern China by having the Grand Canal constructed, truly unifying China. However, it was the ever-rising taxes to pay for these projects that resulted in the people revolting and replacing the ruling family with the Tang Dynasty. This new dynasty was founded by Gaoju, who also used violence to rise to power. But unlike Wendy, Gaoju had learned from the lessons of history and did not overburden the people with high taxes. Some achievements under the Tang Dynasty include expanding their borders, building their network of trade routes, and inventing woodblock printing. This invention enabled the widespread publishing of texts, leading to more literacy and the spread of knowledge. But by the 10th century, the Tang rulers had withdrawn from the social and economic affairs of the public, and the central government weakened. China then entered a period of political upheaval called the 5 Dynasties and 10 Kingdoms period. This leads us to a Chinese general named Taiji. He began his military career leading the mounted archers and rose to the rank of general. He then staged a coup, violently seizing power from the final ruler of the 5 Dynasties and 10 Kingdoms period, and established the Song Dynasty, which will last from 960 to 1279. Taiji then re-established a strong central government to reunify China. Some of the remarkable achievements under the Song Dynasty include gigantic sailing ships, the magnetic compass, the first ever permanent standing navy, nationally issued banknotes, also known as paper currency, and an alchemist discovered that if you mix sulfur, charcoal, and potassium nitrate, you wind up with a black powder that goes It was called black powder because guns will not be invented for another 200 years, so why would it be called gunpowder yet? but it's basically gunpowder. As a weapon, it was first used as fire arrows, launching 300 arrows at a time. Fire lances, which were like powerful bottle rockets, and bombs. This will forever change how wars will be fought, especially when Europeans get their hands on this technology. However, these early black powder weapons were too crude and not powerful enough to stop invaders from north of the wall. And these invaders will come in 1271, and they are called the Mongols. And they are going to begin to chip away at the Song Dynasty, ultimately bringing it down. But that's for our next video. Our next video is all about the Mongols, so that'll be fun. I'll see you then.